Welcome, teachers. And we have started again this year basic introductory sessions about Desmos and Desmos tools, then Desmos classroom activities. We'll continue these sessions for 4 weeks so that you can have enough information about the tool and the platform. So here is a platform, desmos.com, where you can just type desmos.com and you will get on this page, which has every information what you need. But before you proceed, please log in. Either you create your account if you haven't created yet. You can use school accounts or your personal accounts. Right now, I'm using my personal account. And before we start, let me tell you also, because a few teachers may be worried that if we leave the schools, then we don't have that email access. You can transfer every information from one email to another by requesting to Desmos. It's very easy and it's very convenient. I did same. So everything what I have saved in my account, I got it transferred to my personal account. So it's all your choices. So desmos.com, you can see when you are on this page, on the right hand side, there are some account settings. And this way you can see there are tools available. Scientific calculator, 4-function, matrix calculator was amazing. You can operate different things, test practice in some schools because they were following exam prep or other things. So it's a very similar to that you don't have access to other features of Desmos, but limited features. Geometry tool is another one. You can have a mobile app as well. You can work on that. You can log in also. You can save your work over there. Classroom, it's for teachers, students, and Desmos curriculum, because Desmos curriculum, they design curriculum for US Common Core, and they are creating different grade levels. So it's a paid program. If you would like to know more, you can click on this. Resources for help center and assessments or other things, blogs. There are lots of things which you can explore from this page. And when it comes to the activities, then the bottom part is very useful. So when you are using Desmos in classroom, I mean to say classroom activities, because this is the link where students are going to enter the code, and here is for teachers. But before we jump into this, we'll try to. Okay, just got some disturbance. I would request keep yourself on mute, and if you want to ask anything, please unmute yourself. So this is the curriculum which you can explore more. There are some ready-made activities, and there are lots of things which you can explore. Let's not waste more time on this. And let's get started with graphing calculator. That's the first thing you should explore, because there are lots of things which even I haven't tried. Like I've been using this, but there are still few things which I'm exploring every day. Let me click on graphing calculator. You can go by clicking here or click on math tools. Both options are available for you. Choice is yours. So when you open this page, even if you don't have account, this page will open for you. That's not an issue. But when you try to save it, then you should log in. So on the left hand side, this is there are 3 bars where you can explore some of the activities, or you can say some graphs examples. Look at this, examples. These are examples by Desmos, which are really helpful for any beginner to start with and explore more. And you can learn from these examples, and then you can start creating your own. You can see there are so many which I have created, and I try to save them if I have something. So let me show you a few things so that you can start working immediately on that. So when you are on this screen, on the right hand side also, you can see the settings, and you can enable or disable the grid, axis numbers, arrows, x-axis, scale, label you can add, steps you can add, labeled again radians and degrees. By default, it is in radians. Anything you would like to do, you can just do it from here. And from here, you can start. This is the part where you have to start inputting something. Let's say you start very simple, y equals to x. Of course, you will get a straight line. And if you type y equals to ax, so a is the actually a number which is not defined here, but even if you don't define it here, it will define automatically as a variable, as a slider. So you have, how can you change x? Yeah, x values, I'll show you. It's easy. So that's the way how you can actually start typing here just to see what is happening. Now I have entered y equals to ax and y equals to x. Just to compare these two things, I have entered same thing twice, but with one alphabet, which is A, and you can type anything. It will create slider. Slider means you can just change its value dynamically and you can see what is happening. This is you can give as an experiment stage for the students so that they can explore what is the gradient of a line, what is happening, if it is negative or 0, or it is at the same level at 1. And you can manage it from the minimum and maximum values here itself. Let's say I just want to take -1 to 1. So I'll start from -1 and go to 1, and using the step size, let's say 0.1. Or if you want to go ahead with 0.25, that's fine. You can go ahead like that. You can just play the slider and see. So this is something very simple, which you can start using it as soon as you have this platform view. And actually, I'll move to the classroom activities where we can use these things in the form of activities. So I'll focus for 10 to 15 minutes on the graphing tool, then I'll go to geometry tool, then I will jump to the activities part. Same thing you can apply. One more thing, same variable, or you can say the same slider A, you can use multiple times. Let's say you have a y equals to a sine of x. Now you can change A and you can see how the graph of a trigonometric function and its amplitude is changing with A, because we have given the limit to -1 to 1. You could have given -2 to 2. You can change at any time and you can change the steps. So you can see here, if I run now, the amplitude will go maximum to 2 and minimum to -2. So the task is, or you can say, why I'm telling you this thing is, same number you can use in multiple graphs. Let's say you have x squared and you just multiply by x. Look at this now. Everything is changing. You can manage color and other things. I'll actually discuss about one new feature which was released last month by Desmos, which was the clickable things. Like you can just click on it and change whatever you want. So let me just delete few things here so that we can continue with that. So you have to go to settings here. This is the setting gear. Click on it and you will get, otherwise you have to long press this side, but it's difficult sometimes. It's better to click on that and change whatever things you want to. You can just get the table automatically filled from here. And you can manage these values. If you want, you can actually add your values. Let's say I want to add here 3. Definitely you can do. So the table can be generated using manual values. Sorry, okay, there is nothing in the chat, sorry. So this way you can see the values and you can see what is happening in the values when my slider is changing. So that was one thing which is really helpful for teachers or students to explore from the table. And you can also decide from here. It's not like these values are fixed. As you could see, I entered 3. I could have entered 3.1 as well. anything you can enter. So this is another tool which you can use within the graphing. Now I was going, let me just delete this and I'll generate again y equals to a sine x. Now, when I was clicking on this setting gear, and if you click on this part, I hope you can see this on the left hand side, which is the blue dot, there are lots of options which you can explore. This is line, you can change this width. By default, it's 0.9, and you can actually make the width, thickness of that curve based on that. Look at this. I just entered 20, and you can see the thickness of that curve becomes 20. And same thing, you can even play with the slider. If I enter A here, it will change accordingly. Because look at this, the thickness will increase. Let me just times by 5 so that you can see the difference here. I hope you can see now. As A is changing, the thickness of my curve is also changing. And the most beautiful part is you can control your graph using curly brackets. Just use these curly braces and enter any two values for x. If you want to control x, let's say I want to enter minus pi and 2 pi. It's like we are applying a inequality on that and we are controlling the function. So you can see now you will not see the whole graph. You can control it using two values. And let me just tell you, I'm just creating two sliders now. B, let's say it's just equals to 2 pi something. Just create numbers. B equals to 4, C equals to, let's say 5. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to control my C so that it will not go beyond or less than B. And the maximum value, it may take 10, let's say. Now I'm going to change this. I'm going to add B here, and here I'm going to add C. Now you can see, let me just play the slider speed, or you can even drag them down. Look at this, look at this. So let me stop my A slider so that you guys can see what is happening using these two sliders, which I just generated. Look at this. So you can control the flow of the graph very easily. Same way you can control from the left-hand side as well. So the thing what I'm doing here, because it is very useful in the classroom teaching, I'm just using one example of sine x here, but you can try this with any example. So yeah, any question, please keep on asking. Otherwise, I'll keep on discussing few more things which are possible here. And then I'll tell you what is a new feature in Desmos, which the color option is also there, but it's not handy right now, but it's fine. Clickable option just became active now. So if you click on this clickable, it will say on click, what you want to do. If you click the line or the curve, what you want to do. Let's say I just want to change my amplitude. I'm gonna write A and I'm gonna use this. Okay, let me show you from the keypad, because here is the keypad option. It's on the left hand side. Okay, let me see why it's not jumping here. Okay, anyways, I'm going to use my keypad. Actually, I'm using minus and then greater than sign. It will create one arrow and then you can change it to A plus, let's say 0.5. Okay, yeah, it's easy. Let me show you again. What you have to do, click on this setting gear and click on the graph. Let's say on the red one or the blue one. It's up to you. I'm clicking on the blue one. Click on the blue one. It will show the this option, clickable. You just need to drag it. You can say turn it on, and then you enter any command here. So what I have entered, change my amplitude A by one value, which is 0.5 every time, right? So I have just done this, and it's very basic. I'm not going in more detail because there are lots of things which we can do, but I'm not doing here. So I'm just gonna do like this and then click on done. And now you can see, this is my curve. This has become now clickable. Watch very carefully. If I click, it should jump to 0.5, the amplitude, because A is changing. I'm just gonna click here. Look at this. My amplitude is changing by 0.5 units. And if you remember, the thickness command also we have given using A. So let's just get rid of it. Make it standard curve. That's it. Now you can start clicking on it. Look at this. Every time you click, what you can do, you can actually create two labels. Let me do that for you. So here I'm going to do one thing. Create any random point on the whole grid, because this is really wonderful tool which you can use. Yes, correct. Yeah, sorry, I forgot that you have to do in your Desmos lab. You need to make it active, and then it will be available for you. Let me show you where it is. When you type desmos.com and you go here, account settings. No, it's just here. Where they have moved somewhere. Just for the language here. And generally it was here, but I think mine was already on. So I'm not getting this here, but it must be here.
Yeah. Mr. Singh, I found it.
Okay.
If you click on the account settings, there is an advanced option.
Yeah, it's not coming for me because I have already clicked it. Yeah.
Yes. Then we have to select it to get it active. Thank you.
So I'm going to do here what 2 points. One, I'm going to create on left hand side of my y-axis, let's say -4,5, and I will write it increase if I want to increase it, because I will make it clickable now, these points. Another point I'm going to create on the right hand side and the bottom part as well. Let's say at 4, -4. And here I'm going to make it decrease, let's say. I'm going to decrease it. So it's very easy. Let me delete the clickable function from here. You can copy this because you have done already this. So I'm just going to Control X and turn it off. Now go here and click on this red dot. It can be also clickable. Look at this. Clickable option is there. Same command, you can just paste it here. A should change to A plus 0.5. Whatever the original value of A, it will change to that. So same you can do with green, make it clickable. And here, let me just decrease it, -0.5, and you're done. You want to show the points, it's up to you. If you hide it, then the text available here will become clickable. If you keep the points active, then points will be clickable. Let's make them bigger in size. Go to again the setting gear, click on the black dot, change either the label style, because if you want to increase that, otherwise here. Let me just do it here. Look at this. If I type 100, the black dot becomes very big. So I'm going to use 20 for this. Same thing with green, sorry. Click on the setting gear, and instead of 9, just enter 20. Because now the points are clickable. So let me click on this now, because it should increase, right? So look at this, it's increasing. And if I click on this green dot, it will decrease. So these two buttons, they're now acting as buttons, right? Actionable buttons. They're doing some action. And you can create another button which will reset. It will reset. Let's create it somewhere very close to decrease. And Here is a keypad option. Actually, whenever you start typing, you will see the keypad option like this. So everything you can type from here, functions, there are lots of things which you can do. I'm going to do one thing here for, let's type at 5 and -2. I just want to reset. So here I'm going to write reset. Look, this time I'm going to hide this button, means the dot, so that label becomes clickable. Go to settings, click on here, make it clickable. And how to define this action? What I'm going to do, A is my amplitude, and I'm going to make it using this minus and greater than sign. It will turn into an arrow. So I want to set it 1. As soon as I click, A should become 1. So that's done. Now you can see this thing in action. Right now, A is not 1, but if you click on this reset, it will come back to 1. So whatever things you want to do, always create one reset button. And it's very easy to create. Take any point. See, if you show the point, then point becomes clickable. And it's already reset. Let me just increase it. And now you click on the point. Look, if you hide the point, then the text become like it will be turned into underlined text, and it is active. Let's decrease it. Look at this. It's turning back, and you can get back it to 1, right? As our action says, A approaches to 1. So A should be turned into 1. So this is very handy. I hope you will find it useful, and you'll definitely try in different activities or different things if you want to explore. I think what I did last month, yeah, when it was launched 3 weeks ago, didn't share this. I created this parabola transformation. Let me show you how it is working. So we have a parabola, up and down, left and right arrows are there. We can actually transform anything. This was my first exercise on when the clickable functionality was introduced. So I have a reset button here. It's already reset. I can use these buttons up, down, left, right, anything. Look at this now. So whatever I'm doing, actually, I think I have changed something. So it's also changing my domain and range. So look at this. So if I change it, because I was trying to create one highlighter for that so that I can see what is happening. So you could move it left, right, and you can reset, because I think some of the settings were changed later on. I just need to check it, but it's fine. At least you know what you are doing and how you are changing those things. So yeah, we can discuss about this, but let's not spend more time on this because it's maybe first time you are trying this. So I don't want you to get confused and not to try. Please try, and then you can ask your questions using the WhatsApp group what we have, or the Facebook page I use to share these things. Okay, cool. Now let's move to another thing, and how you can actually create polygons. Polygons using points, and how you can turn that points into a draggable things. Let me just show you one more thing. Let's say you enter A, comma B, which are two sliders. And if I just click enter, my point will become draggable. I can drag it anywhere. Now I can use this point in different ways. Let's say I want to use it as my vertex of the parabola. Minus x squared plus k. I'm using h and k. I thought it is a and b. Yeah, look at this now. I can drag my vertex and place this parabola anywhere. I know this feature is available in different tools, but using this actually becomes so convenient that everything you can see what is happening in your A and B. You can also see the equation if you want. but I'll not tell you now. Maybe later, I'll tell you how you can actually make these things available also. What are the values of A and B and how these values are changing so that you can see the text available on the screen. So if you want, let me show you very quickly. If you get it, then it's fine. Otherwise, maybe we can discuss that later. I'm gonna show the text at point 4,4. Let's say in label, I'm gonna use this. See, I have X. If I type like this, X minus A, my label will look like this, right? Which is not actually good. So to make it perfect mathematical expressions, I don't know how you will find it, but on my keypad, it's on left corner below the escape button. This, it's very, very small. And if I just type that, my equation will turn. I'm sending you this in the chat so that you can copy this, because it's very difficult to find that small, tiny thing. It's not the one which we use for the other things with the double quotation on the keypad. It's not the double with the double quotation. It's with the this one. Let me show you here. If you go to your keypad, you will find this button somewhere, definitely. Sorry, this is disturbing. This one, the approximation sign, this sign. So you will find there. Otherwise, you have to use this one. So let me, I have copied this. Let me share it in the chat so that you can make a copy of that and use it. I'm sending to everybody. Save it, because every time you want to turn your simple equation into a proper math equation, you have to use this in labels. Yeah, but I'm showing here A and B. I'm not showing the values of A and B, right? So for that, there is another technique which we use in computation layers, but it's also active here. I'm going to use a dollar sign, and then those who are in coding, they already know that how you can actually extract things. Look at this. I have extracted my value of A. I'm using a parenthesis bracket here so that I can make it positive, negative. Otherwise, I have to give condition for that. Look at this. Same way I have to do here. So if I change this, my equation is going to change. Look at this, X minus 4.68, 0.84. And you can control it. You can go here, and if you want to change x-axis values, you can definitely do. You can also do the steps. Let's say step 1, and here also you want to have step 1. In trigonometric functions, if the angle is degrees, then you can turn into degrees and enter the steps for 90s like that. If it is in radians, then you can also type pi. It will turn into pi. Simple, pi over 2 or pi over 3. This was for trigonometric functions. Sorry, I forgot that to mention, but yeah. So what I'm going to do now, one more thing, because my A and B are taking any random value, right? Look at this. I want to control them. How you can control? Just use the step 0.25, so that at least after 3-4 movements, they land on a proper grid. Look at this. If I drag it now, it will not stop anywhere. It will take only the gap of 0.25. So this way, how you can actually ask questions based on that. Let's say you have another parabola, which is x minus 2 square and minus 1. And you're asking your students, okay, can you drag this point and match the parabola with what we have already, right? And so the student will know, okay, my vertex was 2 and minus 1. Therefore, I'm able to match this parabola. If my vertex is not 2 and minus 1, then it won't match with the graph. So this way you can create a movable graph, because I'm using the same point as the vertex, which is free point, a free point. Yes, one more thing. You can also control your point if you want. But here look at this. Let me just click on this point. See, in the drag option you have, if you want to just move it from left to right or up and down. This option also you have. So you can control using these things. And yeah, let's use one inequality now. If you want to shade the area below or between, then you have to use the inequality. I'm going to use this inequality. Let's say y less than. Look at this. The area which is where y is less than the whole function, all the values will get shaded. And you can use the equal to sign as well to make it, if you want to make it like that. And if you want to control it, let's say I want to control it, I'm going to use one more thing on the left hand side. Let's say something, only x. Look at this. Now it will cover the area between those two things. We use x square. Look at this now. So y is above x square, but less than x minus 2 square. And here, look at this. If I'm changing this height, you can drag the grid anytime. Look at this. And as I said earlier, you can control the domain using the curly brackets. So use this and you control your graph. Sorry. Like that, -3 to 4 or -4 to 4, some. Not visible because the points are going above. Look at this. So this way you can actually create the shading areas. Let me show you one which is really easy to create. Actually, Yogita ji, you asked in the beginning how we can create the circles which are changing. I'm going to use one center which is fixed. Let's say x minus 2 square, right, plus y. Okay, let's take y square as it is because center would be 0. So this is the equation of circle. So if you type simple, you will get a circle. But if you don't use this, better you use less than equal to, you will get the area which is inside. And if you want to change it, then play with the slider. I'm going to use k here because k is my slider, or just use anything. I'm just defining t. Look at this. If I play my t, the area will increase and decrease. So this way you can control what is happening to your circle and how it is increasing and decreasing. Better you control it from 0 to 1, right? So that when it is 0, it is 0, and when it is 1, it becomes 5, the maximum value. This is the actually a very good tip whenever you want to play with these sliders. Multiply 5 with t such that the t is 0, it means there is no circle. Or if you want to control it very, let's say 0.2, no problem. Let me play this now. And you can increase or decrease the speed from here. So you can make it faster. Look at this, faster now. And you can make it play once or just in one direction, repeat in one direction. Look at this. Now this is cool. When you want to highlight something, always use this. So this can be used in Voronoi diagrams and other things, or you want to show a zone, which is actually you want to highlight. Same thing again, you can make it clickable as well. Go to the circle and click on this clickable option. You can make anything if you want to make. Let's say t changes to 0.1 or t plus, sorry, I should write t plus. So t plus 0.1. So you can make it actionable like that as well, right? So let me just stop this. Whatever t, if I click on the circle, it will increase 5 times t. The multiple of that will be 0.1. Let me just show you here. I'm clicking on the circle now, and look, the radius is increasing. There is no limit. You can just go ahead, continue. Because now it's not controlled by the slider, rather it's getting controlled by the command, this command. And if you want to make it more spontaneous, then actually here, if you save it, then there will be an option here. Click on plus, ticker option.